Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins.
And I'm Paul Hankins.
And you're on the air with Power Squared. This week, like last week's show, we're going to do an unboxing video.
Yes.
But this one's live. The one from last week was short and sweet. It was 5 minutes, but it was the signing of the fine art prints that came with the Kickstarter. So if you were one of the 5 people that chose that tier, hopefully you have it by now or it's well on its way to you.
Yeah.
But this week we wanted to do a sort of look at the proofs for issues 13, 14, and 15.
Yeah.
We had ordered 2 sets of proofs. One from.
Well, you did order prints of the.
Yes. Yes, I guess we did. We ordered proofs from Artith Merrick, and we ordered proofs from Kablam, the 2 physical print-on-demand people that we use.
Yeah.
One's England, one's in the States. Supposedly the one from Artith Merrick was fulfilled. I just never got it.
Right.
And I don't know if it's probably postage, who knows. I'm not blaming the post office, but somehow it got lost on the way. We never got it. And that was like over a month ago, and we've reported it, so hopefully we'll get it soon.
Yeah, if you don't know why we haven't announced release dates for the next 3 issues yet, this is why.
Yeah, we want to make sure we actually can see them before we
pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So to speak.
So with Kablam, it was about a month ago. It was like the 15th of May, and it came this week. And there's a well-known shortage of paper going on out there.
Yeah.
So it's not, again, we're not trying to place blame on anybody, but we would like to see what the issues look like before we announce a release date.
Yeah.
So this is the box. We have 3 issues. And we're going to try to make this as descriptive as possible. If you're listening on the podcast, I think last week's was not really that audio friendly, so we're going to try to be a little more audio friendly this time.
Yeah, I remember I'll just say the 600th Mega 64 podcast was just them dancing to a song that they've used before, and the audio was basically just the song.
So we're not that bad.
Well, not that.
Or that good, because we have 600 shows.
Yeah.
And they're really popular. So.
Yeah. Well, it was funny.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
And I like Mega 64.
Yeah, I didn't know you do.
It'd be cool to see them at Comic-Con.
I'm sure we will. So, box is now opened.
It's also got a plastic. I don't know if anyone likes that kind of ASMR right there.
So, now one of the things that's new for this issue is the little logo in the corner. SRCC Press. I'm actually pointing to one of them. What's your point to? SRCC Press. It's our new branding of the comic books.
Yeah.
We've gone back and we're in the process with Artith Merrick of publishing those covers with this SRCC Press, and we're going to try to talk to Kablam and I've already touched base with the Global Comics and see if we could update them there as well.
Yeah, so this is
issue 13, issue 14, and then issue 15. Now, 13 and 14 are part of a story arc called The Imposter.
Yes.
Which has a character named Pedro who can sort of impersonate people.
Yeah.
It's one of those, some people can really do that, and he takes it a little step further and actually becomes somebody. We won't get into too much about that.
Yeah.
But we were also trying a little bit to diverse the group of characters. And we didn't give him a last name. We haven't given Kirby, Steve, or Don a last name either, so it's not a big deal. So he's just Pedro. We actually have a video that we'll be putting up shortly about that.
Yeah, so look for that soon on our Power Squared comic YouTube channel.
Right. Juan Esquera did the voiceover work for us.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so we're pretty excited. It's also the first issue. I think if you've watched or listened to us before, this is the first one that Julia worked on.
Yeah.
We're now working on issue 21.
Yeah.
So we're a little slow about getting these things out. We're trying to do about 3 a year, and these will be the 3 I think we're going to do this year.
Yeah.
We were a little delayed because of the Kickstarter. We didn't want to have something new coming out at the same time. We're trying to get you to buy something old. And so, anyway, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. So I guess we should take a look
at issue
these.
13.
So
Now, again, if you're listening at home, we're flipping pages and looking.
it's a decent paper quality.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go the paper stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
I noticed the way it's bound, it almost feels flat there, but that's probably not bad.
Okay.
It feels like a mini trip.
We're trying to, with having multiple places you can buy it, sort of give you the opportunity to go,
Yeah.
for the best price for you. I always like this little sequence, which I did a whole series of Peak of the Weeks. If you're this sequence is basically based on, or this panel is based on a sequence out of the movie Seven Brides or something.
Seven Chances.
Seven Chances. Sorry, Buster Keaton. I cannot get his. I've seen all his movies. I get all the titles wrong except for like the general. But Seven Chances, and if you've seen the movie, ends up being has a great sequence in the film, and we just captured a little taste of it. Where in the movie, he's being chased by brides wanting to marry him so they can inherit money, and it goes into the rocks and all that.
Yeah.
It's a great sequence. So we're capturing just a little bit of that little concept of them being chased. So part one is we meet Pedro. At the same time, this is a kind of a continuation of What's in a Name.
Yeah.
Where Quincy Davidson is
Quincy Victoria Davidson.
I always I came up with the name. I still can't remember. Quincy Victoria Davidson is sort of trying to break the boys apart a little bit.
Yeah.
And the introduction of Pedro kind of continues that idea, because he's pretending to be Marty, but who would pretend to be getting him in trouble, and who would do that? Well, it's your brother, who looks just like you. So it's kind of all part of that little idea.
So 13 and 14 looked good. Flipping through the pages. So flip through number 15.
Again, 13. Again, the cover is by Rachel Wells and colored by Julia Cannon. 14. And I think after this we started getting the covers a little more detailed, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a nice cover. Now, 15 was sort of trying to answer a question or a comment that came up on our first signing, which was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
On Free Comic Book Day. And one of the people at the store was asked a question.
Yeah.
And we decided to do an issue to answer it. So it only took 14 issues to get to it. But basically this is called How They Met, which is the story of how Marty and Eli Powers meet Mocha the Kitsune.
Yeah, Kitsune.
Kitsune. See, English, Japanese are not my friends. My language.
Yeah, so this is sort of expanding on the flashback from issue
2. So, and also there's I want to say there's a flashback in. I may be wrong here. 13.
Looking through this.
Looking through, yeah. This is the exciting part of live. That's not even this one, is it? You know what I'm talking about? Where Mocha sits them down. They talk about. I assume it was in this issue. Maybe it was another one. Oh gosh, I don't know. All these kind of blend together.
Plus, that only happens because we're like that far ahead.
Yeah, you kind of lose track of where you were. Maybe it's in a different issue altogether.
I just realized this really hits the edge. Is that okay?
We'd have to redo the page, I guess, which I guess we could do.
Yeah, but otherwise, it all looks good.
Yeah, this. I mean, it doesn't cost that much. So 15 is called How They Met, and we get a little more into the yokai world.
Yes.
Which is something that we want to bring more into the story.
Yeah.
And so in this, we see Mocha mostly in her yokai form.
Yeah.
And then there are all these other yokai that are chasing her.
Yes.
And she gets into a situation, and the boys on their own are walking in the woods, having a conversation about how life kind of sucks. And right?
Yeah.
And Mocha ends up needing their help.
Yeah.
And they come to her rescue, and she gives them these powers as not only a reward, but also to sort of make the other yokai back off.
Yeah. And let's not spoil the rest of it.
Anyway, but that was the idea. It was to try to explain, why does she need them? I think that was the question that was asked.
Yeah.
And so, which I thought was mean to ask at the time. But it was a good question. So we've answered it. So issue 15 will be coming out later this year. Again, same great creative team.
Yeah.
Rachel and Julia have done the artwork. And this is the cover of 15.
Yeah.
And Trevor's done the lettering.
Yeah.
And you and I have done the writing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway.
So, I think that covers it.
All right.
If you're watching this on YouTube later and you want to see more stuff like this, then consider subscribing, liking the video, and ringing the bell.
All right. So, until next time, which will include our team meeting.
Yeah.
I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
And you've been on the air with Power Squared.